Have fun.
Okay, guys, so here we are with Julie Ingham from the Jatis Project, who's joining us this morning. And bless you, it's really kind of you to come on. Everybody, a lot of our guys have been through the Jatis Project, which is our rehab residential project in Torquay. And Julie, you, how long have you worked there for Jatis?
So I've been here for 11 years. 11 years.
Oh my god.
Seems a lifetime ago. Yeah, since 2009 I joined.
So you must have seen a lot of people come through the doors.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Seen some amazing people, some amazing journeys, some sad journeys. They weren't quite ready. That was okay. Some people have come back 3 times.
Yeah.
We never give up on anyone.
No, that's really good. So, Julie, just explain what Jatis actually does, because we hear it a lot, and a lot of the guys that we have come to club have been through that or going through it at the moment. We've got quite a few who are with you at the moment. Do you want to just explain how people get referred or how they get a place and what exactly is involved when they come and stay with you?
Yeah. Okay. So Jatis initially, when Jatis has actually been open for 12 years, initially it was known as like a dry house. So people would come in and get support to remain abstinent, but there wasn't like a program involved then. So back in 2015 they introduced the treatment program. So then it became known as community rehab. So what that would involve is not only would we support anybody coming in with any substance misuse, whether it's drugs, alcohol, prescription drugs. They have support from anything to claiming housing benefit, to JSA, to making sure they've got the right benefits, to shopping, to budgeting, to training, enjoying and hobbies and counselling. We get referrals as well to refer them for counselling, to voluntary work, to job activities. I don't think there's anything that we probably don't do. Even DIY, I think. So we do, So the idea of it is, Martin, really is that someone's had enough. They've realised they've got to stop using drugs or drinking. They want support, and it's really hard, I think, in a lonely place to be in when you've got friends around you that are still using or drinking, or your social network. You're seeing that all the time. It's a really hard and lonely place to be in. So when someone does decide, what usually happens is they have to be under Shrublands or Walnut Lodge, which is the local drug and alcohol agency in Torbay. So usually when someone is having real problems with substances, they would usually be under Shrublands or Walnut Lodge, because that's what's known as their workers, their drug and alcohol support workers there. So some people might be on methadone scripts or Subutex scripts. Some people might be doing a reduction program for drink or wanting a detox. So when they're with Shrublands and Walnut Lodge, we work really closely with them at Jatis. That's what's classed as they're in treatment then. So they go onto a Halo system, which is what we can access. So we know who is wanting to come in, because their workers at Walnut and Shrublands will ask them to start coming to prep for rehab group, which is at Shrublands usually on a Wednesday 11:30. And I know Karen and Mark take that group. Obviously, because of COVID, that's not been on. But usually what you do, you'd be encouraged to attend 4 of them groups. And in the meantime, I would come to the group and say hi to the guys, get to know them, and do a bit of pre-engagement work with them, just to encourage them. Because what we find is some people do want to come for accommodation, but they're not quite ready and realising that actually it's not just accommodation. No. You're going to be encouraged to do groups. You're going to be encouraged to do some rehab workbooks, and not realising how much I think, like, some people come in and think, oh God, I didn't realise it was involved all this. It's a
commitment, isn't it? It's a big commitment.
Yeah. So it is really making sure they're ready, because we don't want to set anyone up to fail, and many a times we've seen people and they've not got any motivation for change at the moment. they want that bedroom and the roof over their head, and we have to just make sure that that's not just what they want. Therefore, that's how we get to know them a bit through the Prep for Rehab group, other groups. Then I start meeting them and getting to know them. They'll come and visit and have a look around the house. By all means, anyone who wants to come in, they usually might ring me, because I know them all mostly. I know them who know them. They might ring and say, Julie, so and so really needs support and they want to come in, and then I'll just say on the phone, get them to Walnut or Shrublands, and then Walnut and Shrublands will let me know that they want to come to Jatis, and then we just take over from there and start ringing them and speaking to them and meeting them.
Yeah, that's really good. And is it 2 houses Jatis runs?
Yeah, so we've got a 10-bedroom house and we've got a 5-bedroom house. So they're mixed, because my belief is I don't want to put all the newcomers in one house. I like to spread it out so that we've got people that have been here 6 months or 3 months or 9 months, because they're a great support for the newcomers then. So we mix the houses up, male and female. You each have your own room with your own key. Obviously it's shared kitchen, lounge, bathrooms and toilets. You have a job sheet, so you're part of that therapeutic duties, we call them. So we do promote doing your house job. We share the house jobs around the house, and we promote that because that's part of living. And Jatis do a group on a Monday and a Friday morning, and we do that all together for everybody that's in Jatis. We do that at Shrublands in a group room. And that's called a process group. So that's quite a good room, because it's a space where you can speak about what you want to, and in a safe environment, confidential, and you'll get to know everyone and their journeys through that. And then what we do, apart from our groups, you work through rehab books with your worker as well. Sometimes that might take about 4 weeks to get one back in, but we do give them a nudge now and then. Then we promote, obviously, drama group. Some go to the living room for different activities. Endeavour House, they go to a lot of groups there, and they build up their own little routine. So you have got your own free time, and you have got, you decide it's your recovery, and it's about promoting what you want. What do you want? Because unless you want it, it's not going to work. We're just there to sort of walk alongside you. And
I mean, obviously it's probably different for everybody, but on an average, how long would someone perhaps be with yourselves? Because I know we've had Mark on earlier, and he was talking about his time in Jatis.
Mark was a world record.
He was there for like 2 years or something, he was saying. But I know that's not everyone's experience. I mean, what sort of average time do people...
So for me, I mean, if you the treatment program is classed as 12 weeks. Now, 12 weeks is never enough for anybody, I don't believe. Don't get me wrong. I think if someone's got good recovery and they've had a bit of a relapse, they just need that bit of nurturing for another 12 weeks and they're fine. But, for someone that's been out there for years abusing substances, 12 weeks is a blink of an eye, really. We used to have people in for 2 years. And that's probably what Mark has spoken about. And it was really, really great, because you got to know them so well. They're just part of their family. It's like a big house of I'm mumsy. I'm more of a strict mum than I was all that time ago, though. There'll be some that were telling you I was a real softie, and now some of them are saying she's not actually that much of a softie anymore. But now what the idea is it's what your timing is, really. If you come in and you're 12 weeks in, then you can have another 12 weeks resettlement, which makes that 6 months, and we've still got people in 11 months later. You can choose. And what we do is, who individuals will know when they feel they've had enough, when they feel they're ready to move on. And then what we do is put a real good support package for move on, so that we know when they do move, because we would support them either in private rented or council housing, housing association property through Devon Home Choice, we make sure that they've either got their NA or AA support in place. There are other groups that they attend. That's not just Jatis, it's about the outside support, so that they've got a good support network, and it's just about really encouraging people to keep that up, because when you move on, that is the most difficult time, because you're in your flat on your own.
Yeah, no, totally. Well, we've been talking about loneliness today, actually, because I think it's Loneliness Awareness Week, and one of our guys has just done a voiceover for it. But when we wrote a sketch about universal credit, and it was basically a sharing of all the guys' experience. And one of the biggest things they said that was the hardest thing as a temptation to sort of fall back into their old ways was loneliness.
I absolutely agree. And I say that from working here this long, from my experience of getting to know the guys and then moving out, the main people that we see relapse are people that are lonely.
Yeah,
they're lonely. And I think it's quite easy to, when the boundaries have gone, you're in your own flat. Whereas, say at Jatis, you've got boundaries in place. You know, there's house rules and certain things. When you're in your own flat, I think it's a real dangerous thing to think, oh, I can have a celebration. You know, I've got me flat, and it's almost like some people will think, oh, they'll use drink or drugs to celebrate. They'll use drink or drugs when they feel bad, and it's almost like that learned behaviour that they've got themselves into. But loneliness is a main trigger I found.
And I think a lot of our guys found that one of the hardest things is that obviously if most of their community and their core friends have been users or people who they've been, you know, who are on the same sort of lifestyle as them, to suddenly feel lonely and you haven't got an alternative, that's the hardest thing. Where who are your mates? You know, your old dealers and people who you used to party with. So, so would you say that that's really important for that, help them build up a sort of a network of support?
Really important. And what we promote is when someone comes in, and we, you know, usually I'm really lucky because I know a lot of people in Torbay, and that have been in addiction. You know, because I've also worked at Leonard Stark and Safe Space, so I've got to know quite a lot of them. So mostly when people ask to come in or they've been referred, I usually know them from back years ago or from now. And so therefore it's really hard, because when they come in, we automatically promote changing your phone number, or changing your phone, because obviously there's dealers or people that you would associate with usually, and we're not saying they're bad people, because I know some of the best people in addiction. It's just about that social network. It's about,
and who's going to be a good
if you change nothing changes. No, that's it.
And that's really hard, isn't it? That's really hard.
Absolutely. So what we do is, they find it's a gradual thing. They might change their phone number. They'll still see them in town, but it will be, you know, no, I'm abstinent now. And hopefully over their time in Jatis, they then build up another network, because not only are they living with people in recovery, they're then, say, going to the NA or AA in recovery. Then the other groups at Endeavour say that, and your guys
drama group.
There's drama group, of course. There's many of the guys in recovery there. So then they find they've got a whole new network that's in recovery. So it becomes easier.
Yeah. And I think what we've found, Julie, is that actually, because there is no judgment, and because they all have got their own issues, but every single person has got their issues. They all start supporting one another, and because they're all in the same boat and they all on the same journey of wanting to, you know, get to where they were, they all help one another.
Amazing. They are amazing support for each other.
Lovely to see.
And you know what? They even know now when I have a bad day, that, you know, and I get a little text, "Are you okay? You know, you seem quiet today," because I'm such a chatbox. But you know, it's amazing the support that they give to you and one another. You know, it's lovely.
Well, Julie, listen, thank you so much for coming on and telling us all about it. You know, we love Jatis because we see the amazing work that you guys do, and my goodness, you really get results. You know, we have so many lovely people in our group who have benefited from the work that Jatis does, and you know, who sort of, you know, they have very fond memories of when they were with you. So thank you so much for all that you guys are doing, and we're just really grateful. you point people in our direction.
Oh yes, your posters are up, Martin. You're oh, I can't. I won't turn the camera around. I might turn you off. Oh, there you are. You're on our board. You're in all the houses. So we've got, we really promote the drama groups, Unleashed, and yeah, you know, we've been to the shows, amazing, yeah.
Yeah, no, bless
really
you.
And you know what, I just want to say one thing on, I thought of this earlier, to make sure I say this, and I was going to nearly forget. So we've got a guy that's come in the project, and this is way back, and he was a real sort of no confidence, a real negative. Even his speech was negative, his mannerism, he had no confidence. Really sad to see, and I'm ashamed to actually say, I actually told him this, that I would come in the front door, and if I knew he was in the kitchen, I'd sort of quickly run past the kitchen in case he caught me first thing in the morning, because first thing in the morning is when he really wanted to rant and rage about everything. And, you know, it's about that patience, you know, he's got a lot of stuff in him. Well, he started coming to Unleashed Theatre Group, he did. And that guy was on stage at Christmas. And I'd say he came a few times. And initially when we first promoted him to go to there, oh, that's not my thing, I don't like that sort of thing. And, you know, and he was really lacking in confidence. Well, he came and he said, oh, I just watched for a little while. Okay, so then the next week, oh, you know, each time he's joined in a little bit more. Well, he was on the stage, arms in the air, and I cried in that audience, because that person is a different person today. And that's not just because of Jatis, that's because of Unleashed as well, because that's allowed him to, I can't even explain what it's allowed him to do, but it's just allowed him to be, and he's got great friends, and he can't wait for the next show and for his next part, and he's a different man. I'm not joking. He speaks now positive, he acts positive.
I know you're talking about.
Honestly, I should have videoed him when he first moved in here, and I tell him it myself. I said to him, you are not the man that walked in this house.
No, bless him. They're all
and
great.
For me, as evident, I see it was from when he was in here, you know, gaining some confidence and stuff, but going through the drama and gaining the confidence from there was amazing.
Oh, bless you. Yeah, good.
Amazing, yeah. Yeah.
Well, listen, Julie, thank you ever so much. It's lovely to speak with you, and we'll keep in touch, and you must come on again.
Yes.
I don't know how long we're going to be like this, but it's probably going to be like to October.
Probably a while.
But listen, bless you guys. You know,
thank
you do a great job. All right.
Bye, guys. Thank you.